Hello, my name is Fu, and I'm a product manager at ServiceNow. Thanks for joining. Today, I'll walk you through an overview of Workflow Data Fabric and how it brings your data and AI together in a meaningful way. We'll start by looking at how we connect to data wherever it lives. Then, I'll introduce a new capability we're really excited about called Zero Copy Connectors. And to bring it all together, I'll show a quick demo so you can see how it works in action. So let's get started. ServiceNow is changing the game for digital transformation by giving you one unified platform and a single data model. Why does that matter? Well, because it lets you automate your workflows, connect your systems, and create seamless experiences, not just for your customers, but for your employees too. We're now taking the next big leap with agentic AI. This isn't just automation as you know it. It's advanced AI agents that can actually handle complex tasks and processes, taking the workload off your people. Now, imagine having AI teammates working side by side with your employees and customers around the clock. These agents don't just execute tasks, they actively collaborate, understand the context of your business, adapt to your goals, and automatically turn insights into action. Whether it's IT, customer service, HR, procurement, or beyond, AI agents are here to help you scale productivity across your entire organization. AI agents have a ton of potential, but only if they have the right data to work with. Gartner says that by 2026, 60% of AI projects will be abandoned. And it's not because the technology isn't good, it's because the data behind it isn't ready. Even more telling, only 4% of tech leaders feel confident that their data is ready to support AI. So, if you're thinking about where to start, this is it. Ensuring your data is accessible, trusted, and aligned with your business needs. That's the first step to getting real value from AI. So, what's holding organizations back from making their data AI ready? Well, it boils down to one big issue: data silo. In this AI first world, your data isn't just valuable, it's critical. AI agents can only perform as well as the data they can access, but most organizations still have their data scattered across countless separate systems. Our customers consistently tell us their enterprise data sits trapped in disconnected environments, whether it's data lakes, warehouse hyperscalers like AWS and or Azure, or key business applications such as SAP, Salesforce, or DocuSign. When you deploy AI agents into these fragmented multi-system environments, you're not simplifying work, you're actually increasing complexity. To truly harness the power of AI, your agents must live on a unified platform that brings together all your data, processing it, governing it, and providing real time insights. That's how you break down those silos and turn your data into action. So, we've talked about the challenges around fragmented data. Now, let's take a look at how we solve that problem. For AI agents to reason, understand, and take action, they need to access your enterprise wide data, no matter where it's stored. That's exactly what ServiceNow Workflow Data Fabric does. Think of it as your universal integration and schematic layer. It allows your business to connect, understand, and act on any data source. Let's unpack Workflow Data Fabric a bit further. We look at it in three core areas. First, we connect all of your scattered data sources, breaking down data silos, bringing everything into a unified view no matter where that data lives. Next, we don't just connect to data, we make sense of it. Workflow Data Fabric contextualizes your data, mapping it directly to your workflows and organizational priorities, so it's actionable right away. And finally, we empower your teams and systems to make intelligent real-time actions with AI agents, analytics, workflows, and tailored experiences. You're not just reacting, you're driving proactive strategic outcomes. Plus, thanks to our RaptorDB, your analytics and reports now run up to 20 times faster. That means insights move rapidly into actions across every corner of your business, all from a single integrated platform. Let's dive a little deeper into the first pillar for Workflow Data Fabric, the Connect. When we zoom into the Connect pillar, you'll notice each of these connection capabilities has distinct strengths and specific use cases. Our core mission is straightforward: give you access to your data wherever it is, whatever your scenario. We understand every customer is at a different point in their integration and automation journey. Whether you're just dipping your toes into connecting your data sources or already have extensive automation in place, ServiceNow Workflow Data Fabric meets you exactly where you are. We offer a wide range of integration tools to support just about any need. And now, with Zero Copy connectors, we're taking that step further. With Zero Copy, ServiceNow introduces something completely new: real-time data integration without duplication. So, what exactly is Zero Copy and how does it work? Let's take a closer look. I'm going to explain how Zero Copy works through the eyes of Amy, one of our frontline customer support agents. Amy's dealing with a tough customer call today. The customer urgently needs details about their past purchases, but traditionally, this has always been the hassle. Because of strict security policies, Amy can't directly access the historical data. It lives in external systems. Usually, she has to put in a request to the data team and wait hours, sometimes even days, for a response. Definitely not ideal when you have an unhappy customer on the line. But here's how Zero Copy changes everything. With Zero Copy connectors, Amy simply opens her CSM workspace, clicks right into the customer's case, and instantly sees their entire purchase history. From Amy's perspective, it feels like the data is stored within ServiceNow, but it's not. So, what's happening behind the scenes? When you set up a Zero Copy connection, the external data gets mapped to what's called a data fabric table. A data fabric table is a virtual representation of your external data. Every time Amy accesses this table, it automatically sends a query out in real time to the external source, fetches exactly what she needs, and displays it instantly. Once Amy's session wraps up, the data disappears immediately from ServiceNow, keeping everything secure and tidy. Now, you might be wondering, isn't this similar to remote tables? Well, not exactly. There are two big differences. First, let's talk about scale. Remote tables max out at 1,000 records, which is fine for simple use cases, but it won't cut it at enterprise scale. Zero Copy, on the other hand, handles millions of records, even with multiple users accessing that data at the same time. That's the kind of performance that makes a real difference when dealing with high volume data sets. Second, ease of access. Remote tables rely on custom scripts and API calls to fetch data each time, which can quickly get complicated. With Data Fabric tables, there is no custom scripting needed. A query from your instance is sent to a query engine, which does all the heavy lifting in the background. It's straight out of the box functionality. Zero Copy connectors aren't just about giving you faster access to external data. They're about making your life easier and your data safer, all while helping you keep costs down. Here's how. First, today's companies face constant security challenges, strict compliance regulations, and data that never stops growing. Zero Copy directly addresses these issues by eliminating unnecessary data duplication. This means your sensitive data stays exactly where it belongs in its original secure location, reducing the chances of leaks or vulnerabilities. Compliance also becomes significantly simpler. When data isn't bouncing between different systems, governance policies becomes easier to enforce and manage centrally. It's less complicated, less risky, and far more efficient. Then there's the cost efficiency. Instead of loading massive datasets into your ServiceNow environment, which can quickly push you past your storage limits and results in additional charges. Zero copy keeps that data securely in platforms like Databricks or Snowflake. This saves money and keeps your ServiceNow instance running fast and responsive. And finally, zero copy gives you precise, controlled access. Users sees exactly what they need, exactly when they need it, and access is automatically revoked when they're done. No loose ends, no lingering risk. The bottom line is this: zero copy connectors break down data silo, but they do it securely, compliantly, and without breaking your budget. Now, we've talked a lot about Workflow Data Fabric and zero copy connectors, but nothing beats seeing it live. In this insight to action demo, you'll see exactly how we transform raw data into actionable insights and then use AI to drive real-time actions. We'll follow 3 key personas through this journey: the data steward, who connects and manages data across various external systems; the operations technician, who monitors, maintains, and responds to real-time events; and the AI practitioner, the expert who builds, configures, and maintains the AI agents powering this workflow. Let's dive in and see how these roles come together to make it all happen. Aromatica is a global cosmetic company that uses industrial sensors to collect massive volumes of machine data in real time from manufacturing plants. All that data is stored in Snowflake. Here, we're looking at 4 tables in their Snowflake environment. The first one is assets, which lists the types of equipment on the floor, things like the mixers, the vacuum. Then there is the sensor reading, which captures readings like the vibration, the temperature. Notice that this table alone contains about 14.8 million records, and it's growing every day. Now, as a data steward, I want to bring this data into ServiceNow using Workflow Data Fabric. To do that, I'm going to hop over to ServiceNow and then type in Workflow Data Fabric. Here you'll see that we have a number of connectors, and we want to connect with Snowflake. Now, there are 3 things you need to do. First is establish a connection, then map the data, and then grant access control. So step 1 is establish a connection. Typically, you'll get this from your Snowflake admin, and you just paste the URL, the database, the username, and so forth, and then it'll give you a private key. So once you paste all this in, you just test the connection, and now we have a live connection. Step 2 is now we want to map the data. Remember those 4 tables I talked about? Now it's available to you, and we want to create a data fabric table. So let's do that. Here you can see the columns from Snowflake, and this gets automatically generated, and this is the data fabric table that we map to, basically a 1-to-1. And let's map it. I just want to show you how it looks like. It looks like a normal table, right? This is a data fabric table, but it's not. The data doesn't persist. Once I leave this table, the data will disappear. So let's go back and do the final step, which is the access control. So we want to grant access to a particular role. So we hit manage access, and I want to grant this role. Okay, so as the data steward, my job is done. I establish connection, I map the tables, and I grant access control. Now, let's head over back to Snowflake. I want to show you another one of those tables called reading alerts. Now, in this table, whenever the sensor goes really high, for example, the temperature is really high, or the PSI is really high, it creates a record in this alerts table. And in Snowflake, we have a custom script that whenever there's a record in this alerts table, it's going to fire an event. And this event is going to ServiceNow via a REST. And we have a webhook that listens for those calls, these events coming in. It's going to fire off a workflow, and it's going to create an alert in this events table. So let's look at this alert. You can see that there's some data that's coming from Snowflake that gets passed to us. And it also created an incident, an OT incident case task. So let's switch personas now. I am now going to be the operations technician, and I'm going to go to my service operations workspace. You can see here, I can see the alert with this sensor, and I need to troubleshoot this. Typically, I would have to look at the maintenance logs or look at the manuals to see how to troubleshoot this problem. But today, I'm going to use Nowsys to help me with that. And Nowsys is going to fire off a series of AI agents. So help me resolve this incident. It's going to come back with a game plan. It's going to generate a detailed summary. It's going to look at the historical data and from Snowflake, and it's going to recommend the next best action. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I do. So there's a little bit of human in the loop here. And our AI agent is going to come up with this game plan. It's going to say, here's the asset details. This mixer working conditions is between 0 to 500 PSI. It's going to look at the maintenance. The last time it was maintained was back in February from Christopher. And what he did was he replaced 2 worn lubricants and remounted the brackets. Then it's going to look at the current sensor with a pressure of 800 PSI, which is well above the normal working condition. And it's going to give you a summary. And it's going to say, schedule preventive maintenance to inspect the mounting brackets and lubricate the sensors. And should I create a work order case to replace the faulty pressure? Of course, I say yes. Proceed. Again, human in loop. Great. Now it created a work order case and assigned it to the next available technician, which is Henry. So this is from a operations technician's point of view. Now let's look at what's underneath behind the scene, right? Let's look at from a AI practitioner's point of view. Let's look at the AI Agent Studio. Here we can see the orchestration layer. You can see that the AI's train of thought here. And then there's 2 AI agents, but the real star of this is called the OT Asset Predictive Maintenance. So let's click here. This is a custom skill kit. It's using, you notice that there are 4 flows here. 3 of these flows, the sensor reading, the asset maintenance, the asset details, these are calling workflow data fabric tables. And remember, a workflow data fabric table will trigger a federated query to external sources. And here is a flow that fetches detailed information from a local table. And all that data gets fed into this custom prompt. And this prompt gets sent over to our LLMs to provide the next best action. So this was a very quick demo on how you can gain insights from external data to perform actions with our AI agents. Now let's zoom back. To scale this capability across your entire business, we're expanding the reach of Workflow Data Fabric through what we call the Workflow Data Network. This includes hundreds of pre-built integrations through Integration Hub spokes and external content connectors, covering everything from cloud platforms to business applications to collaboration tools. And we're not stopping there. With the addition of zero-copy connectors, we're unlocking direct access to the biggest names in data: Snowflake, BigQuery, Databricks, Redshift, and much, much more. That means your AI agents and workflows are powered by real-time contextual data, not static copies. Give you speed, accuracy, and governance all at once. So to wrap things up, here are 2 easy ways to get started. First, check out our product documentation. It walks you through how to connect to data sources and start using zero copy in your own environment. Second, visit our community page. This is where you can ask questions, take training, and stay connected with other users and experts. Thanks again for joining. I can't wait to see what you build with it.